Hey Bible lovers, I'm Tim Nichols and I'm here to bring you your Nichols Worth. And today from Full Cup Bibles, a guy named Chuck Wages is one of the newer rebinders and he's in South Carolina. He's doing some amazing work. I was taking note of some of his work and we kind of made a connection and ultimately ended up with me having a rebind of an NLT filament giant print compact Bible. Not only is this an amazing layout, but Chuck does some amazing work. So let's take a look at some of it. This is Cognac Badalassi waxy pull-up. I love the smoky look of the waxy pull-up, and I love that pull-up effect. That's just so beautiful. And one thing about Badalassi is you can scratch it, and then you can just rub that scratch right out with just a little bit of effort. Sometimes if you get your finger a little bit wet, it'll rub out easier, but you can see I didn't have much trouble getting rid of that scratch. That's the coolest thing about this leather, I think. But let's take a look at some of his work. That tool line there, really nice and thick. I really like that. And his stitch work, you look at that stitching around this, there was a little bit of spot where the bobbin got hung up there. He talked to me about that before he sent it, but I'm telling you, that's not really that big of a deal. And then one spot where most will struggle a little bit is the overcast here to keep it from unraveling. That actually doesn't look too bad. Here is where he really stands out. And to be so new, this is pretty impressive, is you got the double tool line spine hubs there. And then really nice deep stamping, and that is pretty centered, not bad at all. The Bible is just a little bit off there because he lined it up here. But I'm telling you, this is really, really nice work. And one thing about Chuck, you can get this rebind done for a very reasonable price. Check my video description for his prices because they are super reasonable. Now, he does not offer art gilding. This is what I believe looks to be Beresford ribbon, so really nice there. Let's check out the liner. And this is a lambskin liner in that blue. Really nice gilt line. Really good corners. They're not skived down. Now this is interesting because some choose to skive those corners way down to make them lay flat. He doesn't, and I tell you what, I don't mind that at all. That looks pretty good. His inner stitch work looks really nice. His edge line tab, now this is interesting because you can barely see it. I'm not sure if you skive that at an angle, but you can barely see that edge line tab unless you press it down. Now, one thing I did notice is he brings his edge line tab all the way to the very edge of the page. Some rebinders will cheat it in just a little bit, but here's the reason I believe he did this, and this was a smart move, is look how far away the end sheet is from that edge line tab, leaving this big massive gap. Now I'm going to show you why that's very important here in just a moment, but let's take a look at the nice ribbon work there. It looks really sharp, nice headband and tailband, but then when you open it, this is wild. Check it out. We're laying flat. As a matter of fact, when you get to the middle, let's go ahead and get to the middle of this. Look how flat that cover lays. I mean, that's flat as a pancake. And what happens is this text block curves up in here. Now, it is reinforced. I checked. There is mesh in there, so this block is reinforced. I have never seen a rebind lay this perfectly flat. It's almost no indication that this thing has an edge line tab at all. It's pretty amazing. And this has that 12-point font, the corner translation notes, beautiful layout, filament enablement. But if I go all the way back to Genesis 1, you can see without any trouble at all, this thing is laying flat from the title page. That's just crazy. Does it work the same way in the back? You better know it does. Check it out. This is absolutely incredible. I have never seen a rebind lay this flat before. That overhead view, the yap is absolutely beautiful. Now, one thing I did notice about this one is it's got a little bit of a fuller yap here. The top and bottom is just a little shy. That may have been intentional. Sometimes rebinders will do that, but ultimately, this is some solid work. I am just baffled by how well this lays flat. And then check it out, in the hand, it's not all like a flop machine, but it has some flop to it, but it's not like hard to handle. I believe it's the size of it that just makes it so really nice. This is a personal size Bible. Just excellent work. The only thing I would really encourage him to do is eventually learn how to do art gilding, just because that's a little upgrade he'll be able to offer. But beyond that, I don't have a single complaint about this Bible. It's amazing. And I love me a good flat spine every now and then. A lot of rebinders are doing your curved spines. I actually appreciate a nice flat spine. Another thing is when you lay it flat, I don't know how he did this, but you can see how the spine of the block concaves, but the spine of the cover does not. It lays flat. It stays flat. Check this out. So it's not going to have that crease in the middle. that you're going to get. And this is not reinforced. Now, he does offer reinforcement to the spine called an Oxford Hollow upon request, but I'm telling you, I don't really see the need for it in this. And maybe some of you will balk at me on that, but the spine hubs really seem to serve their role well in keeping this thing from concaving in. This is great. So if you are in need of a rebind and you need it on a budget and you need a good price on a rebind, I fully recommend Chuck Wages with Full Cup Bibles. He will not do you wrong. This is excellent work. God bless you. Keep calm. Jesus on. This is your Nichols Worth.